Hey guys, once again warm welcome to all the participants to the lecture series on ethical hacking. Today we'll be discussing about some of the concepts in the third unit. Before going for the third unit, let me have a small discussion about the things what we have discussed in the previous units. So the entire first unit will be mainly concentrating about what the ethical hacking is of. What is the life cycle of ethical hacker? What is the life cycle of attacker? What are the different type of attackers like white hat hacker, black hat hacker, gray hat hacker, different type of things. And even we have discussed about the footprinting also. Coming to the second unit, we have discussed about the what exactly the enumeration is of. How we are going to collect information related to our system resources, operating system, software applications, what we are using, everything, even network also, everything, so that we can make the required analysis to check is there any loopholes or else a backdoors or else a trapdoors in our applications. So next to these things, in our third unit, we'll be mainly talking about the Trojans. So don't compare with the Trojan War what we have studied during the fifth and more or sixth standards. So Trojans are very much familiar for you. They are pretending as if they are the genuine things, but they are not. In the Trojan War also, you may have these things. The Greece people, they have left over the horse at the ocean bank. Unfortunately, the Troy people has thought it's a small gift, so they have taken that thing into their own place. So what the thing that has been happened, you are very much familiar. So here also, the Trojan is an application which behaves as if they are the genuine. So let me deep down into these things. In the entire third unit, we'll be mainly talking about the Trojans and more of the backdoors. So up to now, we had I'm regularly talking about what the backdoor is of, what the trapdoors is of. Every application will be having these particular backdoors. What I'm saying is of. So in detail, we'll be digging them, what exactly, how they are exactly working with. So in the entire third unit, we'll be mainly talking about the Trojans and backdoors. What I said right now, like what are the different type of Trojans? Okay, what are the different type of ports that have been available for the communication to have the required Trojans? Open ports, for example. And what are the different type of goals of the Trojans? And what is a mechanism they are using to infect my own system resources? Once it has been infected, how it is going to affect my own database or else my own system resources, and what are the different type of tools that has been used by these persons to check or else to induce the required Trojans into my system resources. And also we'll be discussing about the distributed Trojans and more its toolkits. And we'll be discussing about the covert communication. So, as I'm saying, Trojans, they are pretending as if they are of legitimate. So, you know what about the covert operations also. So, for example, we have two kingdoms. Two kingdoms want to wage a war, for example. I myself is one of the king, for example. What I will be doing, I will be sending one genuine person as a covert to the other kingdom. So, there, my person will be behaving as if he is a legitimate there. He will be gaining the trust on the opposite king. Okay, and he get the total information about the kingdom too. And the information that has been collected with you will be periodically sent with me. So these are the different type of covert operations that will be implemented. So how the Trojans will be implementing these covert operations and what are the different type of tools. Okay, how we are going to have the redirection concern to the ports. And different type of covert tools that has been used. Next, we'll be discussing about the spyware softwares and moreover the keystroke logging mechanisms. And finally, we'll be discussing about the sniffers also. What exactly the sniffers are of. In the third unit last video, we'll be mainly discussing entirely about the sniffers. Who the sniffers are of, how the sniffing mechanism will be implemented, everything will be discussed. First of all, let me go with the Trojans. We'll be discussing about what exactly the Trojan is of and its type. As I said, the Trojan horse or else a Trojan is a small application or else a set of lines of code, some sort of program, for example, okay, which is of malicious. But it will be disguised as it is of legitimate. It will be pretending as if it is of genuine. Unfortunately, knowingly or else unknowingly, I will be installing that unwanted information or else Trojans into my system application. I will be making use of that thing. Whenever any trigger has been initiated, okay, when the lines of unwanted code has been triggered, automatically it will be making its own malfunctions. How? So it will be creating a self replicate, but it will be creating a backdoors in that particular application. Okay, it will be creating a backdoors so that the intruders or else hackers can easily penetrate into application without any sort of credentials. And this thing will not be known to the user who is genuinely using that applications. This is how the Trojan will be behaving. The first of all, once we are discussing about different types, let me go with the remote access Trojans. So generally for the remote access, we will be using the telnet services. I'll be sitting here. I can access your own system by using that TeamViewer. It's a telnet services. It's an application which has been already available. So this thing will be used by the attacker. Okay, he gains control over the entire system via using these remote controls or else telnet services. Next, going to the banking Trojans. It is mainly to design to steal regarding to the online banking credentials. It will be stealing the user credentials like username, passwords, or also credit card details, CVV numbers, and different type of things. So it will be definitely affecting the client or else the customers who are using the bank, and moreover, it's also damages the bank reputation. Next, coming to the backdoor Trojans. So as I said previously also, when we are discussing about the definition of the Trojan, so here, as the name implies of backdoor Trojans, they will be creating an entry point for the hacker to enter into the application without any sort of credentials. When the attacker, without having the credentials, he can directly log into the application via using the trapdoors or else backdoors. It will be simply bypassing the normal flow of accessing any sort of application. And next, going to the downloader or also dropper Trojans. So here, what it will be doing, we will be, unfortunately or knowingly or unknowingly, we will be installing some sort of applications as per our own requirements. Additional to the applications what we are installing, okay, the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be inducing some sort of patches or also unwanted malicious applications into the same executable file what we have been downloading and what we have been installing. Once it has been installed with the malware, automatically it will be definitely affecting the or else infecting the entire system and gains the control. Next, going to this is a best example for the ransomware virus also. Next, going to the spyware. So here, the monitor user, what they will be doing, they will be simply collecting the total activities that has been done regularly by a normal legitimate user. And during the operations, or else during the regular operations, what he is doing, okay, we will be installing some sort of unwanted patches or else sort of any sort of hardware device. Okay, the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be collecting the total credential information. So it will be mainly monitor user activities and he will be collecting the total sensitive informations, especially the credentials, passwords, or other things, any sort of OTPs and all these particular things. Next, going to the ransomware Trojan, what I said right now. Okay, so here in the case of ransomware attack, okay, when the normal legitimate person is downloading the unwanted information into the system and once he has been, that particular application has been installed and triggered, automatically in the ransomware Trojans, what they will be doing, the virus will be controlling the entire database, and it will be not only controlling, it will be encrypting the entire data in such a manner that a normal legitimate user, a normal user cannot access the data until he have the required keys, and the keys will be available only with the attacker. So these are the different type of ransomware Trojans that has been induced into our networks or into our services. So how these intruders or also attackers, how they are going to induce the Trojan or also malicious softwares into Apple applications? Okay, what is the different type of communication methodologies they are going to use, and what are the different type of ports that are been feasible for them to enter into our network? So here comes to the Trojan ports and moreover communication methodologies. So here we are mainly checking about the communication channels to receive or also to send any sort of information from the attacker or any sort of intruders. So here we are simply understanding how it is going to help in detecting and moreover preventing the unauthorized access. Let me go with the Trojan ports. Commonly, regularly, these attackers, they will be targeting these particular ports, open ports. Suppose, let me go with the HTTP. There we are using the port number 80. Okay, in the case of HTTPS, to provide the required security, here you have the required port number 443. And next we do have the port number 25 for the SMTP. Not only these things, it is not limited to these particular ports. Even in the case of a POP, that is Post Office Protocol, they are using the 110 port number. These are the targeted ports which has been oftenly used by the Trojans to enter into our network. They will be simply blend in the normal traffic, and they will be using unwanted information with the regular communication what it has been done between the genuine users. Next, going to the backdoor listening ports. So some Trojans, what they will be doing, they will be specifically using these particular ports on the victim terminal, okay, and waits there until that application has been triggered by the user. As I said, with the genuine data, with the regular applications what we are using, okay, the attacker will be simply including some sort of malware into that. So when these lines of code that has been there in the malware has been triggered, automatically some of the ports will be opened as a backdoor. Automatically the attacker will be entering into the applications or also services. Next, going with the reverse connection. Instead of waiting, instead of doing the regular operations what we are a normal user will be simply doing, okay, very modern Trojans, the intruders, what they will be doing is nothing but they will be simply initiating the outbound connections to attack the required servers. So the main advantage here is nothing but they will be bypassing the firewalls, so that the firewalls will not be checking whether the person is of genuine or not, whether the data that has been coming from so and so system is of genuine or not. Everything will be compromised there. Next, going to the C2, that is nothing but the command and control communication. Here the Trojans will be communicating with the command line interface or also command and control servers, okay, to receive the instructions from the to have the required transmitting of the stolen data. Okay, what the data that has been stolen from the genuine legitimate systems, they will be collecting this particular information and they will be simply passing the information to the outside world. Okay, next going with the covert communication techniques. So these are the advanced Trojan techniques that has been implemented nowadays. Okay, covert. So these applications will be behaving as if they are of 100% genuine. But in the back end, they will be doing their own operations in such a manner that they will be, leaking the data, leaking the sensitive information, like a credential information, any sort of social security numbers, very important data. Everything will be simply leaked out by these persons. So this is a simple Trojan communication flow, how it has been implemented here. Here you can see the infected host Trojan at the left side. In the middle, we do have the network or also internet, and there comes to the attacker. So in the case of outbound connection, okay, this is nothing but the reverse connection. Okay, so what they will be doing here, the first of all, the Trojan will be simply establishing some sort of communication via the internet. Okay, next they will be simply what they will be doing, the attacker authenticates and sends the required commands, and then the Trojan will be executed with the legitimate person, and the data will be automatically extracted from that terminal as it has been gained the confidentiality, and the attacker will be sending getting the total information. So how the things will be happen is nothing but, first of all, Trojan will be behaving as if they are of genuine. The normal a layman like me will be thinking the data application is a very much genuine and I am using. But in the backend, it will be doing its own operations. This is how the required things will be happen. In the backend, what it will be doing, it will be simply getting the communication with the server. Okay, and thereby it will be stealing the total data, or also losing the total data from the database. Once the data has been available with the attacker, they can do their own operations. So these are about the different type of common ports that has been used by the Trojan. In detail, you can see the required port numbers. Every port will be used by different type of protocols. You can see the first one, 80, which will be normally used by the FTP. Okay, FTP, that is nothing but the file transfer protocol, which is used to transfer some sort of files within the network. Okay, not only limited to these things. Here you can see the required port number 22, 23. Okay, and different type of port numbers like 25, even 63, different type of ports. And every port, how it is providing the required services for me, and why that will be, these things will be used by the Trojans. Next, going to the Trojan goals. What exactly they are in need? Why they are making these type of operations? As if already I had told you that Trojan is a malicious thing, but they will be pretending as if they are of legitimate. They are of genuine servers, genuine softwares. Once it has been installed, it will be doing its own operations. Like it will be gaining the control over the entire system resources, or else they will be leaking the required data into the network. Okay, any sort of operations can be performed, or else they will be simply encrypting the total data so that whenever any normal legitimate user want to access the data, it cannot be accessed until and unless he has been decrypting the data by using the key that has been used by the attacker, which is highly impossible. So their main goal is to, first of all, to gain the unauthorized remote access. Previously, also in some sort in the backdoor Trojans, you can see what these backdoor Trojans, what they will be doing. They will be simply creating some sort of backdoors or else trapdoors into my application, so that in normal attacker, what they will be doing, without any sort of proper credentials, also without proper flow of authentication, they will be directly entering into the application. So it will be simply carried out in such a manner that the attacker will be directly entering into the system from remote controls. So the entire system operations, what it has been carried out, will be simply monitored and even controlled also. So not only gaining the access from the remote positions or from remote locations, there are also chance of having the stealing the data. That is nothing but the data theft. Here, the Trojans main aim to steal the sensitive information. It may be credential information, any sort of client's information, any information which is highly confidential for the organization or else for any sort of company. As you can see here, it may be the credentials, it may be the financial data, the financial transaction information, the confidential business documents, that is nothing but high sensitive data, and it may lead to the spying the details also. So they will be simply spying what type of communication has been simply established between the genuine users. Let me go with a small example. I mean, during the Cold War, somewhere in the year 70s and 80s, what the communication that has been done between the Russia and moreover, at that time it is of USSR, okay, between the USSR and moreover India, has been continuously spied by the American agents, FBI. FBI is regularly tracing what the applications, what that transaction, what is the communication that has been done by these two countries. It is nothing but the spying. And I have seen some sort of records also. It is it may be genuine or not exactly, but I had seen in some sort of social media things also. Around during the regime of Indira Gandhi, around 3 to 4 central ministers are cohorts of USSR. What the decisions that has been done, what the application that has been going to be implemented, everything has been communicated regularly with the USSR. So immediately the data has been transferred to the Moscow. So everywhere, every country will be making some sort of spyings. You may be very much familiar about this Mossad, Israel spying. So the best that people will be saying about. Mossad is very much trusted with the India, and they are regularly communicating with the India to transfer any sort of legitimate information regarding the terrorists or any sort of terrorist groups. And even we are very much familiar with the different type of movies also nowadays, like Durandar 2 and these things. They are nothing but they are doing the spying itself. Next, going to the financial gain. So these, especially in the case of ransomware attacks or also ransomware Trojans, so not only stealing the data, what these ransom it will be doing, it will be encrypting the data. So automatically, once the data has to be revealed out, okay, we have to pay the required amount for the attacker so that they can reveal the required keys. They will be simply gaining the financial control. Okay, so they are mainly targeting about the financial transactions, and also they may be redirecting the online payments also. So in the previous lectures also I had given one particular example. Once we are entering into any sort of restaurant, we will be simply scanning the QR code that has been available on my table to check what is the menu, how we are going to order the required food items for me. If that particular QR code has been tampered, so we can't check what the things that is going to affect. System damage and moreover disruption. So the Trojans may update the data, they may delete the data, they may replicate the data, they may create different type of inconsistent data. Any sort of thing can be happened, and it may lead to damaging the entire system resources. And next, going to creating a backdoor for the future attacks. Not only these things, the Trojan main goal is nothing but not only attacking now. In the near future, we have to gain the control over the entire system. Okay, it will be simply installing different type of backdoors that will be simply continuously allowing for the attacker to access the data or also access the system resources. These are the different type of goals of Trojans. So in this lecture, we are mainly talking about what exactly the Trojan is of, okay, how it is going to behave, and what are the different type of goals that will be going to achieve by them to attack my own system and gaining the control, unlocking the data. So it's a short video regarding to the Trojans, and next, once again, the next lecture, next video, we'll be discussing more in depth about the distributed Trojans, the Trojan mechanisms, how they are going to control the systems and everything. Have a look on the next video, please. Thank you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.